All right, it's time for some positivity. We've talked about red flags, we've talked about signs of narcissism, and I'll put a link in the corner for a video on that. But let's get into green flags. Yo, it's your friendly neighborhood knucklehead, and in this video, I want to talk about 3 signs that somebody is definitely worthy of pursuing a relationship with. And also, these signs can be something that we can incorporate about ourselves when we're meeting someone else. Don't just look for these in the other person. Also try to see if you can embody these things yourself. And that will make you a worthy person to pursue a relationship with. Number 1 would be somebody that can take care of themselves. Somebody that doesn't really have their life as a giant mess or all over the place. And they'll usually showcase that if they're not complaining, if they're stable, if they feel approachable and able to handle mature conversations and things like that. It's not just like a negative communication that's coming out of them. There's actually some talking about things coming together and how they've been handling certain things. They're not necessarily looking for help all the times or talking about themselves as if they're a victim. They're really able to, go out there and pay their rent or work a job or take care of their car, just signs of like personal responsibility. Piggybacking off of that, number 2 is how they take responsibility of talking about their past. Now, this is again looking to somebody that doesn't see themselves as a victim of things that happened in the past. They take responsibility for the situations that they got themselves in, and even things that are totally not their fault, they are still able to view them as things that have made them a stronger person. How they talk about failures and setbacks. Are they looking at things as if they are lessons? Are they learning? Is there signs of growth? That's really how we take responsibility over our past, our childhood, and past relationships. Everything like that comes from how we use these things to become better people. Piggybacking right off of that, number 3 is going to be if they have explicit healing experience or self-awareness. Now, this can be a tricky thing because even people in a victim mindset can have the self-awareness for what is holding them down, but it really takes the extra step to be able to use that as something positive, as something to grow from. So an example would be if you had someone cheat on you in the past and you recognize that that's going to give you some trust issues. That is having some self-awareness for how the past affects you in the present. But the next step is, what do we do about those trust issues? Are we talking to people about it? Are we in some kind of self-care routine? Do we have experience with therapy? Are we in some sort of mindfulness practice that we know will calm us down? Are we reactive or are we responsive? This is somebody that's able to actually have the sense of maturity and growth that it would take to really build a stable, healthy relationship with. And now again, we're not just looking for that in other people, we also have to embody those things ourselves. Let me see some green emojis in the comments if you're on board with all that stuff. These are really things that I believe are going to be what we should look for if we're building a deeper connection with somebody, whether it's like a long-term partnership relationship or a business partner even, or it's just somebody that we are going to be a little bit in a deeper relationship with, other than just being face friends that we'll see at the park and play basketball, or we'll play video games with, or we'll go out to a party with. Like, actually somebody that you can rely on, actually a real friend or a potential long-term partner. And as creative people, we're definitely going to want to look towards if our values align. And this is really what the whole point of the video is, exploring what the values are that you want to see in another person, but also the values that you have about yourself. If you want somebody that's emotionally available and emotionally mature, you can't be emotionally immature, because it's not going to work. We have to be on the same page. Now, if you made it to this part of the video, it's time for the thumbs up and to subscribe to see even more tips that are going on. And like I said before, here's that video on 3 red flags that might raise warning flags or caution flags when you're dealing with another person. And the full playlist of all of my artistic advice and awareness is right up there for that. As always, thank you so much for watching, and stay creative.